Hello and welcome to the Downsized. Today is Sunday, November 16th. Is that right?
I think so,
November
yeah.
16th, 2025. And this is a channel where we talk about everything related to GLP-1 weight loss. This segment is called our weekly weigh-in, where we tell you what's going on with us this week and we weigh in on viewer questions that have been left for us either on our comment section or via our
Email.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Today we're actually in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are here to see Kelly Clarkson and to have a meetup with some of our Downsized members. We haven't actually had those yet. We're recording this a little bit in advance, but we are right now at Caesar's Palace. We're outside. We found somewhere relatively calm outside. It's early in the morning. It's 8:40 a.m., but to us, it's 11:40 a.m. So we woke up, I think we woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning Vegas time because,
I think we did.
you know, our East Coast brains were just used to that. This week, we are going to be in Vegas, and then we're traveling from Vegas to Chicago. We have an event that we're doing in Chicago for our real life business. I guess this is also our real life business now. We're in the process of becoming full-time YouTubers on the GLP-1 space track.
Sure.
Space track.
Sure. Let me show you where we are before we jump in. So you can see the fountains of Caesar's Palace, and we are actually, let's see what I can see here. All the way around, there's actually a little temple right here, a shrine over there. All kinds of fun stuff going on. So yeah, we are kind of in the middle of it.
The last time I was in Vegas, it was over 20 years ago. I used to come here twice a year when I was a clothing buyer because there's a big clothing trade show called Magic. I guess they still have it in August and February. So I've never been to Las Vegas in November. And the last time I was in Vegas, it was 20 years ago. A lot has changed. In the 20 years, there's just a lot more sayings, and it's just so over the top, right? There's just so much here, and it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, we go on a lot of cruise ships, so it's kind of like a cruise ship on steroids without the ocean.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Cruise ship times 1,000, times
Yeah.
a million, maybe. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
we're not really gamblers, so
Yeah, I mean, we are going to put some money on red for one of our viewers gave us a super chat for to gamble on red for JoJo. So JoJo's our cat. She's at home.
she's not a Vegas fan.
So I don't even know how to work these slot machines. So we'll have to figure that out. Maybe we'll do some video shorts of that later.
I'm not sure whether they'll actually let us film in the casino. We'll see.
Oh, no, you probably can't film in the
I don't know.
casino. That would
Yeah.
probably be illegal for sure.
You see me getting kicked out of Las Vegas. There you go.
Leaving Las Vegas. Everyone sing along. Okay.
So we always start with our weight and what's going on
Oh.
in our week. And,
Forgot about that.
it's been kind of a whirlwind month because we went on a test cruise for the Freedom of the Seas, which is the ship we'll be on for the Downsized at Sea cruise next year. We did a quick follow-up cruise, side-to-side cruise for that. Where else did we go? I don't even remember. We went somewhere else.
We did the 2 cruises,
Yeah.
and then we were in Atlanta for ObesityWeek.
We were in Atlanta for ObesityWeek, absolutely.
Yeah. So we came back from Atlanta, and then a few days later, we flew to Las Vegas. And our flights, everything was going on with the government shutdown and the air traffic controllers. So the day we flew, everything was opening back up again.
And it all worked fine.
So it was
no
fine.
side issues.
We kind of were a little bit worried about that, but our flight was on time. We got into Las Vegas early. So thank you, everyone who had to work through the government shutdown without getting paid. We appreciate you. We appreciate you doing that. Okay, so weigh in.
Oh, sure. So Christopher Durham, 57 years old, 5'10.5". I started at 286.4 pounds as of today. Or actually, I brought the scale, but I did not weigh this morning. I weighed yesterday morning, and I was exactly 188 pounds. So a little under 100 pounds down. My center weight that I shoot for is 185 pounds, so I'm 3 pounds up from that.
Well,
So
your
that's
starting weight was 286.
that's what I said, 286.4.
And how much are you now?
188.
So you're not quite 100
That's what I said.
down.
A little
Okay.
under 100. Yeah.
All right. All right.
That's the way the math works.
Just trying to follow along.
No worries. I'm currently on 15 milligrams and have been for, I don't know how long, 30 weeks, maybe a long time. And it's working just fine for me. I'll bounce up and down a couple of pounds here or there. It's a little harder when we travel because you never know where you're going to get food from. But, it's fine. Like we get back and we do what we got to do. Yeah. How about you?
Well, my name's Laraine. I am a 56-year-old mother of 3 pretty much grown children, and I'm 5'5". My starting weight was 193 pounds. My highest recorded weight at Weight Watchers was 232 pounds, but I started at 193 pounds. Yesterday before we left, I weighed 144 pounds, so that's 49 pounds down. So that's right. I like to keep right around 50 pounds down. So I like to be between 140, 145. I'm at 144. Okay. But yeah, this week is just, I don't know, we tried to get back into the swing of things at home, and as soon as we're kind of back in the swing of things at home, we left again. So it's always hard to travel. Yesterday, when we flew out, we went into the American Airlines lounge for breakfast. We arrived in time to do that. So I got a Greek yogurt. They have those little individual Greek yogurts. And I got some bacon, which I don't ever remember seeing bacon in there before.
It's actually not bad bacon. It was crispy.
It was crispy. So I had that and some bacon. And then they had like a little scone. But I thought, oh, this looks cute. So I ate a little scone. We had actually taken our shot in the morning before we left. So usually our shot day is Friday. But this week we did it on Thursday. We did our shot a day early because we were flying, and we just figured it'd be easier than traveling with it. We're not opposed to traveling with it. We've traveled with our medication plenty.
And it's not hard.
And it's not hard, but it was just kind of one less thing to think about because we had a lot of equipment for our event that we're doing in Chicago and our meetup in Las Vegas. So we did that. And then when we got to Vegas, it's like it was early, but it was late. The time changed. It's really hard, especially as I get older. It's really hard to change time zones. I sound like an old lady, but that's the truth. When I used to come to Vegas for work to fly home, we would take the red eye back. And, you go in at 10 o'clock, you get on the plane, you fly all night. I'd take a nap in the morning and then I'd be good to go. I do not
That was
think
20 years ago.
it was 20 years ago. I was much younger then. I don't think I could do that now. I mean, I could do it if I had to, but I would not enjoy it, let's just say. So we got in and we wanted to have lunch. So we're looking around for lunch options, and there's kind of like a food court in Caesar's Palace that had like Bobby Flay hamburgers and Rick Bayless tacos. And for some reason, the Cake Boss had a pizza place.
I don't know why the Cake Boss had a pizza place.
It was about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock Vegas time. So it's creeping up on dinner time at home. So I was hungry. And I don't know, I was like, ooh, cheeseburger. I want a cheeseburger. So I got a cheeseburger, and I think you got tacos, or what'd you get? You got a sandwich, like a Mexican sandwich.
Yep.
And that was good. Like I was full. But then when we went to eat dinner, I was like, I don't really feel hungry. Like, I don't know. I think I'd missed my window of eating, but I did want dinner, but I wasn't super hungry for dinner, and everything is so darn expensive in Vegas.
So take 2. We're in a different place. That's right. We're actually in our hotel room at Caesar's Palace because
Got kind of loud
Vegas
outside.
is the loudest place on earth. I'm pretty sure there's like Zamboni guys cleaning the...
It rained a little bit last night, so
I don't know.
think that's unusual here.
There's planes landing. There's some guy building the building next door going bang, bang. Probably I can filter most of that out, but you may hear a little bit of that. Anyway, so you were talking about what?
So I was talking about, we ate dinner last night at a restaurant called Nobu, which they have an amazing dish there called black cod miso, which is basically a piece of...
Which is an icon dish.
It's fantastic. And I haven't had it in years and years, so I was like, well, I have to have it to see if it's still like my favorite thing ever. So I got it, and it was still my favorite thing ever. But Christopher tell him what you got.
I got spicy scallops with fresh vegetables. Delicious. So for all of you whose food noise manifested itself as Cooking Network and chefs and all of that, Nobu is owned by a celebrity chef, I won't get his name, Morimoto. Celebrity chef Morimoto, who was on Iron Chef for years.
And years.
And basically, if you've ever had miso black cod, he is the one that it all traces back to. But absolutely beautiful food. And the thing about it is it's Japanese. It's incredibly fresh ingredients. The portion sizes are appropriate. It's just really good protein and vegetables. And
I mean, the vegetables in the
if I ate like that every day, it'd be easy.
It had asparagus and pea pods and carrots and broccoli and so flavorful. And the spicy sauce on it was really, really good.
Yeah,
and then we
delicious.
also got a side of this mushroom. What was that called? The mushrooms.
They were braised mushrooms and
like
soy
this
and ginger. Yeah.
Fantastic, like 6 different kinds of mushrooms, and I mean, I couldn't.
I
couldn't eat it all, and I was very upset because I was like, I have this beautiful piece of fish, and it's one of my favorite things, and we ended up just taking bites of each other's food, and it was really, really good. So. Even though, we're in Vegas in the land of like excess and everything, you could still find
these were really healthy dishes. Yeah.
to stay on track with your progress, right? So I also wanted to mention that we walked a lot yesterday. So we walked from our hotel, Caesar's Palace. We walked up to Paris, Las Vegas, because I remember I just always loved that hotel, Paris, Las Vegas. And we walk in and we look around and you were like, what did you want to see in here? And I was like, I don't know. I just always remember loving this hotel, but I think now that I've actually been to Paris, I said, I just kind of like the idea of Paris, right? I said, do you want to go up in the Eiffel Tower? He's like, we've been up in the real Eiffel Tower. I was like, it's true. And, nothing here is cheap. Nothing here is free. Not. So we didn't do that. We had a drink at the bar and we hung out there for a little while and we walked back. And we just walked and walked and walked. Even just Caesar's Palace itself, you could just stay here for a week and there's a mall attached. There's all kinds of things. So yesterday I pulled up our step count. We did 17,700 steps, which is equivalent to 7.48 miles.
I believe it.
So
we walked a long way.
I would like to think I walked off that cheeseburger, but that's not really the way that works. So
we walked a long way.
We walked a lot. It did help. It did help, especially after flying and traveling, and just gets everything kind of moving. So that was good. So you want to take some questions?
Absolutely. So, of course, this is our time when we weigh in on your questions. If you'd like to submit a question for us to answer next week, if you just leave it as a comment underneath this video, make sure you use a question mark. That way YouTube will sort the questions out for me and we'll take them. So we may not get to everybody's this week, but they just get on the list. And sometimes they're duplicative questions. So several people have asked the same question or in a similar way. We'll start with a tip from a question from my 12 GLP-1 tips video from AraG7121. Nowhere in these comments do we see anybody who has lost weight on a tide, so Semaglutide or Zepbound, and kept it off after stopping the drug. Comments?
Well, that's the problem a lot of people have with these medications, right? That's the first question my own mother asked me. Well, do you have to stay on it forever? Well, I feel like I do, and I think most people will need to because it's a treatment for the disease of obesity. It's not a cure for the disease of obesity. So, I talk to people all the time. Oh yeah, I was on it. I lost 60 pounds, and then I stopped, and I gained 30 pounds back. Well, that's what happens when if you stop going to the gym, you don't have muscle. If you stop,
Well, I mean, that's the key. As of today, there is no medical intervention. There is no exercise intervention. There is no dietary intervention that's going to fix your body weight in one place, right? You will not say, I am 180 pounds forever, and then it never changes, because our body changes every day. We eat new food. We go to the bathroom. We sweat. We breathe.
Not even just changing.
It's constantly
the medication,
changing,
right?
So even if you didn't do the medication, there's no way to fix your body weight in one space. It just doesn't exist. Now, maybe someday.
Well, I think the question is more toward the end of, do you have to stay on these drugs forever? A small percentage of the population can come off of these. And, I've seen people titrate down and then come off. Very few people that I've talked to. Now, we're not doctors. We haven't said that.
No.
We have not said that. We're not doctors. We just talk to a lot of people who are on these GLP-1
And I read a lot of
medications.
research. So there's a lot of new research projects coming out. And the reality is, with the medications today, the vast majority of people will need to be on these for the rest of their life. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with that. Honestly, I was on blood pressure medicine and cholesterol medicine for 25 years.
Right.
I'm not on them anymore.
Right.
So I'm 100 pounds down. I am so much healthier.
Swapped off 2 drugs for one and lost 100 pounds.
And lost 100 pounds.
Sounds good to me.
Honestly, to me, the only thing that has to change is the price has to come down. It has to get more reasonable. And there's a lot of people working on that. We push for that every day. 5 years from now, I think there will be options that are $20 a month, $30 a month, oral, injectable, whatever. And nobody will ask one question about staying on it for life. They'll go, oh, okay, that's good. Mm-hmm. And you move on. Are there people out there? Sure. And somebody will chime in and say, I've done it for however long. And that's great. So that's not to say that they don't exist.
Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, exactly. Your mileage may vary. Now, how about that one right there?
This is from Clean Goddess. I'm concerned about the possibility that the lower price comes with a promise from the government to get rid of compounding options, talking about the government announcement last week. Is the deal completely transparent, or are we only getting a piece of it?
Is the government ever completely transparent?
I don't think there was talk about getting rid of compounding, but I don't know that they can get rid of it. I don't think they can.
So is it possible there was some backroom deal? Sure, it's possible. Do we have any insight into that, or are they going to tell us that? No. So wait and see. I don't think they're going to get rid of compounding at all. Compounding is bigger than GLP-1s. Mm-hmm. That's not going to go away. Is it possible the legislation changes? Is it possible the regulations change? Sure. It's all possible. It's more likely that the price coming down will eventually make it not tenable for compounding at scale. So if these drugs get cheap enough,
right,
compounding at scale, they just won't make enough money. So that will go away at some point. Now, how far down does it have to go? I don't know. We can debate the economics on that. But
I don't see it going away anytime soon.
It's not going to go away anytime soon. This is in response to last week. So asking, as part of that announcement from the White House, they talked about QuickPen. And this Mila Match says, what's the U.S. date for the launch of the QuickPen? And would it be for Zepbound? So they mentioned in the Lilly announcement and the White House fact sheet that they would be releasing a multi-dose pen. We assume that's the QuickPen, which is the pen that's used in Europe and Canada. It hasn't been FDA approved yet, so we do not know when the date of that release will be. The assumption is because that QuickPen device is being used currently for other medications, so the FDA can look at other things, that it should be approved pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. I would hope we'll see it by
sometime in 2026.
By the beginning of the year, but that requires FDA approval, so there's no telling. All right. How about that one?
This is from Jenny Sprague, 6080. Can we supplement with protein drinks in addition to eating proteins? Yes, the end. Yeah, if you can't reach your protein goals with eating regular foods, chicken, fish, tuna, whatever. Yeah, I love a protein shake. I use the Biocare ones. There's lots of protein shakes out there, and they're great to get in additional proteins. A lot of them have between 20 and 30 grams of protein, so it's a great way to hit your targets.
Yep. A question that came on our 20 protein picks behind our 150 GLP-1 weight loss, our Aldi haul from M Vitra was, what about gas from the beans? We bought several cans of beans. We don't personally have issue with gas from beans, and honestly, in my experience, you have to eat a lot of beans before that becomes an issue.
You know what kind of got to me the other day?
What?
One of those Mission carb balance tortillas. We made beef tacos for dinner, and I ate one of those, and you and our daughter ate regular tortillas. And those have like 17 grams of fiber, I believe, per tortilla. And that kind of did a number on me.
Did it just clear you out? Or?
It just made me really gassy. I don't know. It just, the fiber just pushed things along, which is probably good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with gas, although on the airplane, there was someone on the airplane that was gassy.
That.
I feel like my sense of smell has heightened on these GLP-1s. Do you feel like that?
Smell, it comes and goes.
I feel like I have like super smelling powers now. Anyway, that's just an aside. Yeah,
So there are over-the-counter remedies for gas like that, Beano and things like that, if it's an issue for you. But I mean, honestly, we don't have that issue, and we eat beans.
I don't have that issue from beans. I do have those. I think especially when it's something that's packed with fiber, maybe not a natural fiber, but something like a fiber additive.
LD, you want to take that one?
This is from Scott B. Can you comment on the differences or your preferences between the Premier Protein shakes and the Biocare package you referenced in this video? Thank you for continuing excellent content. Yeah, we are now sponsored by Biocare. I like the Biocare protein shakes because they come in a packet, an individual packet, right? There's no scooping, there's no mixing, and it's not a liquid. So when I travel, I can throw them in my suitcase, I can throw them in my carry-on without worrying about that liquid component. So
the Premier Protein ones are pre-mixed drinks that you've bought for years, right? I can tell you, as you guys know, I'm not a fan of any of these protein drinks. I think the Biocare tastes better than the Premier Protein. I'm not a Premier Protein fan. You got
it right there, kids. And he's like Mikey. He doesn't like anything.
No, I don't.
Right?
Well, the Biocare ones are good, and then the only other one that I will even touch is the Fairlife ones. I mean, it's so. I wouldn't drink the Premier Protein.
Well, and the good thing about the Biocare ones is you mix it with water. You don't have to mix it with milk or almond milk. They tell you, they prefer you to mix it with water. It mixes up better. So like in my hotel room, I can mix it up, and have it like for breakfast or in between meals or something like that. It just kind of fits in better with my lifestyle at this point.
Okay, there's another one for you.
This is from Jody Tabor, 9270. Hi, have been taking a break from GLP-1 and it hasn't gone well. I am thinking of switching to Mochi. Is that still a good experience for you? Yes, absolutely. I've been using Mochi from a telehealth provider and for compounded tirzepatide since February of 2024. Yeah, February of 2024. So it's coming up on 2 years now. Yeah, I see the Mochi doctor through a Zoom type call. He calls my medication in, or I don't know how he does it, electronically sends it to a compounding pharmacy. And actually right now with Mochi, I can pick which compounding pharmacy I want it to come from and which additive I want it compounded with. I hate to end a sentence in a preposition, but the compounding pharmacies mix tirzepatide with niacinamide or glycine or another ingredient, and that's how they make it personalized for you. So your provider, you can ask them like, what does niacinamide do? Well, it's a B vitamin and it helps with, I don't know what it helps with, but especially if you have a side effect, you can ask your provider about which of these additives might be better for you to do with the compounding. Yeah. But yeah, you can use my code to save $40 on your first Mochi order. It's QIYG, the letter O, and 8, the number 8. And the code is in the description. You can copy and paste, and you go to joinmochi.com.
All right, next question. Let's see here from Get Coached Podcast. She says, do you know of anyone or have you interviewed anyone who's gone from tirzepatide for the weight loss and is maintaining on semaglutide, looking into switching for cost reasons during this maintenance phase? Thank you. So there's a bunch of different strategies that people are talking about. Switching to semaglutide because it's cheaper is certainly one of those strategies. And I do know a few people who have done it and been fine. I know a few people who have done it and didn't like it. I think it's largely a function of how your body, and I'm not a doctor, how your body reacts, because semaglutide is that single action. It's a GLP-1, and tirzepatide is the GLP-1 plus the GIP. So sometimes the GIP works a little better for some people, and sometimes just the GLP-1 works better for other people. Some of the other strategies to help you maintain, to help you cut the cost, and you should really talk to your prescriber, your doctor about it, is you can begin to stretch your doses out. So maybe you take it once every 10 days or once every 2 weeks. Obviously, every 2 weeks would cut your cost. And if you can move down in doses, and there's no table or formula that's going to match everybody. This is something you're going to have to work with your provider and see how you feel. But theoretically, if you could move it down from, like I'm on 15 milligrams, if I could move it down to 7.5 milligrams, that would cut my cost in half, and I could stretch it out. And then go to once every 2 weeks, all of a sudden you're saving a lot of money. Basically, you're paying a quarter.
Now, how would that affect me, do I think? I don't know, because I've never been on semaglutide. But if I was really crunched for cost, I mean, try it. You can always go back to tirzepatide. See if it works for you. Some people, have more nausea with semaglutide versus tirzepatide. So that would be my main concern. I know a lot of people that have been forced to go from Zepbound to Wegovy due to the CVS Caremark issue have reported that, and that's tirzepatide to semaglutide. So for maintenance, and like Christopher said, if you went to a longer dosing schedule, like every 2 weeks, that would be a way to possibly save money too. But I don't know if that food noise would be
you just have
too
to try
much.
There's no way to know.
But the thing about the maintenance is there's nobody has any hard and fast rules for maintenance, right? We're all just kind of figuring it out as we go along. So you become the expert on you and find out what works for you. That's
right. Work with your doctor, please. Another question from Gailish, and Gailish submitted a very long question and gives all the details of what she eats and how well she's done. It looks like she's done very, very well. She's 66 years old, mother of 3, started at 205, and she's 145 pounds, so a 60-pound total also. Congratulations, Gailish. I will not read all of her details about that, but I will jump right to her question. And her burning question is, what are the long-term side effects after being on Zepbound and getting off?
Weight loss. Oh, wait.
Oh, right.
And getting off Zepbound?
Weight gain.
Weight gain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to remember, a lot of people say, oh, well, these drugs haven't been studied over a long period of time. Ozempic's been out almost 20 years at this point. And something else that we haven't mentioned is somebody at Novo Nordisk forgot to renew the patent in Canada for Ozempic. So Ozempic is going...
We did a news story on that.
Yeah. Ozempic is going, what do you call it? Generic.
Next year.
Pretty soon. And I saw a news story this morning that said that one of the drug manufacturing companies is going to start manufacturing the generic semaglutide that's going to be available in Canada. So I think when that comes along, you're going to see a lot of people maybe trying to get it from Canada or something like that.
Right. So the long-term effects, once you go off of it, are going to be dependent on you. So hopefully you've been doing this all along, and as we all should, we're trying to build better habits. But a lot of people didn't have bad habits to begin with and still were overweight. So it's just, these medications do so much more than just make you lose weight. They're working on your metabolism, they're working on inflammation, they're doing all sorts of things. So if you saw help from those things, that goes away as well. So that inflammation and all that stuff goes away. The heart benefits, the sleep apnea benefits, all that stuff will go away. Now, theoretically, you're 60 pounds down. That should be really good for you.
All right, so next question. This is from Cat C. Cow. I'm curious as to whether the press conference was put onto some kind of convention screens. So when we were at the ObesityWeek conference, it's talking about the press conference that came out in reference to the lower prices with GLP-1s. Yep. No, there were no convention screens. There were groups of people that got together and watched it as a group. Some of our GLP-1 TikTok friends, I think, were watching it together. We were in our booth. In
I mean, most of the
hall.
buzz was from the few patients that were there. So the doctors weren't all going, ooh,
They
this
didn't
is
care.
really exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they do care, but
They care, but
it doesn't change
affect
their
them.
lives.
Right.
So it's not. You also ask about, did y'all gasp when the member of the team passed out during the press conference?
Oh, I saw that later.
The Nobu Nordisk guy passed out during the press conference, and she said, have you ever seen him or met him? We've never met that guy or seen him. I think he is one of the executives at Nobu Nordisk, so we certainly hate to see that happen. But yeah, no, there was no big screen or anything. This wasn't because this was a conference that was really about treating obesity. It wasn't really a conference for patients. It was just a different approach to it. Karen IP8QK says, I wonder if those of us who have lost all our unwanted weight with GLP-1 will be unable to get maintenance coverage because we are no longer obese. Then will Medicare premiums go up significantly? My Medicare Advantage premium rose $280 a month for my husband and me for 2026. Something to ponder. I look forward to more news. Karen, we all wonder what's going to happen. Honestly, at this point, there's simply not enough detail to know how this is going to play out. Basically, there was a press conference. It was as much a marketing event as anything else that said this stuff's coming and here's some average numbers. So until we get the details of how this actually gets implemented, there's no way for us to know. It's just, and I get people are worried about it, but.
Well, and you talk about, going from an obese weight to a healthy weight. Keep records. Make sure you're weighing it in at your doctor's office, or you're keeping your own personal records of your weight and your weekly weight loss and all that kind of stuff. So that may be important later to show where you started and how this drug has helped you over time.
All right, so that's our questions for this week. If you'd like to submit a question to us during our weekly weigh-in, just leave it under this video. Make sure you include a question mark. If you haven't already, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Anything else we need to add, Laraine?
I think that's it. Just like and subscribe. Share this video with a friend. If they have one of these questions, maybe we can provide some answers for you. And just remember, we're not doctors. We're just two people who have lost 50 pounds and 100 pounds with GLP-1 medications.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Christopher Durham.
I'm Laraine Durham.
And we are the Downsized.